the realization of the vision. The prophecy that was made to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob comes true as we open up the Torah in its second book, the book of Exodus, this week. The prophecy was that their offspring would become slaves to the Egyptians. And so it was. And it was further prophesied that the enslavement would last for a period of 400 years. But it didn't. In this week's reading, in the second chapter, verse 28, it says almost enigmatically, and the Hebrews sighed. Vayeyanchu. What does a sigh mean? According to our people and his literature, a sigh could break the universe. A sigh could change the mind of God. A sigh can bring about a cataclysmic change. So when the Hebrews sighed, this was a demarcation line. This was a point of departure. When they sighed, they no longer accepted what they were told by the Egyptians. They no longer accepted the fact that they were Untermenschen, that they were subhuman, that they were less than everybody else. They rejected the fact that they were destined to be slaves. They said, "This is not me. I am larger, I am greater, I am bigger than this." At the moment that they made that statement and they let out this huge sigh, that is when God changed his mind and said they are ready now to be redeemed. Question: when are we dissatisfied with our life? When are we strong enough and resilient enough to sigh, to break the heart of God? And perhaps just as profound, to break our own heart, to change our path in life. Another idea. There are two different kinds of diaspora. There's the diaspora of Israel and the rest of the world, and then there is the diaspora of the mind. We who live in the United States or elsewhere in the world live in galut, we live in diaspora. We live in a kind of exile out of the promised land. But there's another kind of exile as well, an exile of the mind, when we've lost ourself, when we no longer understand and remember what we were created to be, what God wants from us, what God demands of us to become, to meet, as it were, our destiny. Because the redemption began at the moment that the children of Israel sighed, and they were willing to take a risk and to step out of the borders that had confined them. What will it take us to release ourselves from our own personal exile and come back to the place that is most familiar and most home, coming back to the soul? I wish you a good Shabbos. Welcome into your home. Welcome into your soul. Welcome into your spirit.